So we're here this afternoon at the 40th annual LA Harbor Labor Day Coalition Parade with Gary Herrera, who just happens to be the vice president of the ILWU Local 13. So Gary, tell me about this parade and your involvement in it.
Well, this parade marks the 40th annual, like you said. It is the largest west of the Mississippi, probably largest in the United States. And, marching down here, supporting all labor, I think is an important aspect of what we do. It's not just about International Longshore Warehouse Union, but it's about all labor. So I think today was a great day. I think it was a great outcome. It was really nice to see everybody today.
And what kind of participation did we get this year from all of the various unions outside of the ILWU?
Well, I think we had lots of other locals between the Teamsters, the carpenters, the ironworkers, the teachers, Local 11. We see a lot of different unions out here. It's just organized labor all together that's here today. And I think that's what today's all about. It's about labor. It's not about any kind of number behind your local. It's about one color, and that's the blue-collar worker. It's just about blue. That's all it is.
Well, and there is an awful lot of diversity in color at this event today. Tell me more about what your union is involved in locally that sort of has national impact.
Well, I think right now what has national impact, well, it always has national impact, is we move cargo from the West Coast all the way inland to Chicago, Texas, Tennessee, to Memphis, all over the world. And we move that cargo all the way from Seattle all the way to San Diego. We have also a ILWU in Canada. So what we do is we move all the goods. We move all the, whether it be your cars, whether it be your clothes, whether it be your food, whatever needs to be moved to go from point A to point B, that's what the longshoremen do.
Well, and with the Trump's tariffs on China, there was an unexpected downturn in cargo transportation. But the last figures that I heard was that everybody's trying to beat the deadline for the tariffs, which has meant that there's been more work on the waterfront in the last 60 days than before.
Right. Well, I think it's going to create an imbalance. It's really not good for the economy. It's not good for the workers. But what they're doing is everybody's trying to rush to get in to beat these tariffs, and they're going to sit these warehouses in the Inland Empire piled up, and then when the time comes, the work's going to be so slow, and there's going to be individuals such as our workforce and outside, actually, we're talking about truckers, we're talking about retailers, they're going to surely feel the hit because everybody's trying to beat the tariff. It's not a smart move, at least I believe. I can see it right now. We have had a surge of work, but we're also seeing it taper down, and this time when we should be at our peak for Christmas time. So we've actually seen a lot more cargo come in earlier in the year than we have right now.
And talk to me a little bit about your recent battle over automation and what that means, not just to your union, but to all of the other, the American workforce overall.
Right. So automation is just not about the ILWU. The automation right now is truly a worldwide epidemic, I want to say problem. We have from going to the grocery markers being self-checkout lines. We have from longshore workers using their jobs to robots. We have from doctors having robots come in and give their last rites to a patient. We have from teachers losing their jobs to watching on a monitor. There's also, I just saw recently in Las Vegas at MGM, they're automating the bartenders. This job as we speak, the Teamsters right now as we speak, autonomous trucks. It is simply an attack against labor. It is not just one job. It's about getting rid of labor and their voice to be able to give back to their families. And I think the 1%, the top 1% that we always talk about, the richest people in the world are trying to hold the labor down.
And so, strategically, what can your union do to delay or change any of that?
Well, from our union standpoint, there's McKinsey reports out there, there's reports out there to show that automation is not more efficient and it doesn't produce more than what we do. I can give you a statistic right now. In one automated terminal, they do anywhere between 7,000 and 12,000 moves a week. On traditional longshore, on a terminal right across the bay with longshore workers, we do 35,000 moves a week. So it's us to prove that we're more efficient. It's us to prove that we're more productive. And then the bigger scheme is to see what happens to the economy, what happens to your communities when you lose jobs, when you're not paying taxes, when you're not giving back. So I think it's all together. We have to provide a very detailed report on economics.
And is that going to happen anytime soon?
We are working on it as we speak.
My understanding is that the city of Long Beach has authorized such a report.
Yeah, so the city of Long Beach, we've been proactive now that we've seen some of the things that happen in Los Angeles. So now we're in Long Beach being proactive, and they actually voted, the city council, on a 7-0 vote to have a economic report to see the impacts of what happened on their community when you go to a fully automated terminal and how it would affect the community.
And is the Port of Los Angeles going to do anything?
Well, we've asked for the Port of Los Angeles to do something, and we were voted no. And actually, I take that back. We were voted no on an appeal, and we were asking that they do a further detail. Now, for us to go back and ask that, we will. We will go ask the Port of Los Angeles to do an economic report, but that's going to take now us going and starting from scratch and stopping some of these big corporations such as the MERS corporations that are a foreign company coming in here with a foreign interest displacing American jobs. So yes, we are going to go back to Los Angeles and ask for that economic report.
How soon?
So right now, Joe Buscaino has actually worked on a blue ribbon committee that's going to start working on some of those things. So we're already in the works.
Good. Thank you, Gary. Thanks for being here at Labor Day, and keep up the good fight.
Thank you very much. Thank
All
you.
right.
Happy Labor Day.
All right, great.